this computer. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna pull up my presentation here, which I'm really excited about to share with you guys. One second, let me just bring this up. Perfect, that looks good. All right, so what I wanted to do, okay, guys, so number one, just wanted to thank you guys for coming on. I know, as I always say, that time is your most valuable asset. And so I 100%, thank you for committing to your business, committing to your own personal growth, by coming here and showing up this evening. A couple quick announcements. So we are in the middle. We have so many major changes happening in our organization right now, but we have some major new products that have been launched. We have our new mix bike, which just came out. Some of you already have it. Some of you have ordered it. Some of you are, eager to get it, but waiting to get it. Either way, it's a brand new addition to the Beachbody platform. And it is and it's an exciting addition. It speaks to the way that our company is always looking to stay ahead or stay on point with where the wellness industry is as a whole. So just know that. In terms of our challenge packs, which have now been renamed Total Solution Packs. So they're no longer called challenge packs. We can still call them challenge packs, but I would get us into the habit of saying total solution packages. And the reason being is because really what we offer as coaches really is the total solution. We have not just the fitness, but we also have the nutrition as well as the community support. And so with that combination, that truly can help so many people. So this month, our total solution packs are on sale with the basic one, which includes the full year access to the Beachbody On Demand, plus the 2 nutrition training programs, plus 30 days of one of our supplements is on sale for $140. So a very good deal. It's actually a steal, especially those of us who used to, when we used to buy like one program at a time and pay like $200 for one program. So truly a total solution, truly an amazing deal. It's still the middle of the month. It's only not even the middle of the month. It's still kind of like towards the beginning of the month. So still plenty of time to really get your goals, to hit your goals this month, to really, determine, how many people would you like to help this month? I know many of you have big goals. Some of you have goals where you're focusing on yourself, and that's wonderful as well. And then some of you have goals where you really want to use this time to really push your business and to really enhance your business. Now, this time of the year is crucial because, again, this is the time of the year when people start getting off track with their health and wellness. This is the time of the year when people tend to kind of detract from their health goals. There's going to be lots of gatherings. Even though we are in interesting times right now, there are still going to be gatherings that are going to happen with family and friends. And so it is up to us as wellness, as wellness ambassadors, really, to really be that example for our community, for our family, and to really stay, really remind people not to put their health and their body on the back burner right now. If anything, honestly, guys, people need to be working on their health. They need to be working on their mindset. They need to be taking care of their body, right? Like that is our number one, like the thing that we can really have the most influence over. So just be mindful of that. Also, for those of you who are working towards major goals at the end of this year, as well as thinking about 2022, crazy that it's about to be 2022, just know that this is the time when you really you continue to work hard, because it sets you up for a really strong January. So all the buildup that you do right now, all of the connections, all the follow-ups, all the connections that you make right now are going to, they build up and they compound on each other, so that even if people are saying, let's say, for example, people are saying no right now, that's okay. Because again, come January, that is going to be when you're going to want to be on their radar. You're going to want to be that person who was encouraging them along the way. You're going to want to be that person who was there reminding them to prioritize their health and not letting them feel like you forgot about them. So again, this is the time now to not only help people when they tend to get off track, but also to propel you and get you situated and set up really well for January, February, which is when there's a major boom in the wellness industry. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, awesome. Let's see. Can you guys see my presentation there? Can you guys see my presentation? Okay, awesome. So we're going to be talking about the foundations of coaching. So I really wanted to just bring us back to the basics, because it's, it had been a while since we have been consistently getting on team calls. And in terms of the spirit of just really getting back on track, getting back to the consistency of the team calls, you will see the consistency of the team calls coming in. A lot of our sub teams are going to be joining back in. So we'll have Team Once Upon a Fitness, we'll have Team Rising, all coming back in, Chelsea, Ariel, Carla when she's available. So we're going to have more people coming back in into the main team to really just increase, work, like support one another, and also boost the energy and help to support us so that we can end the year strong. So I thought it would be really awesome for us to just kind of have a very basics kind of foundations of coaching call, especially because, again, my hope from this call is that regardless of where you have been this year, regardless of what has happened, regardless if you're coming back to coaching, regardless if you have taken a step back, regardless of what it is, that you just realize that the past is the past and today is a new day, today is a new opportunity, and it's just simply getting back to the basics. And those of us who know this, who have been, on the coaching path for a long time, we know that when we get off track from the basics, for some reason, our life kind of falls apart a little bit, when we're like not taking care of ourselves, we're not taking care of our mindset, we're not doing our personal development. So this is really, and this is literally, this business is as simple as this, I don't hate to say this, but it is as simple as this presentation that I'm going to be sharing with you. It's really about becoming the vital behaviors, and I'll talk about that, but it's really about where all of a sudden the vital behaviors literally become who you are. It comes from you, and it doesn't seem like it's something forced or something that has to be, scheduled, but you're just naturally doing it, or it has become a natural part of your life. So to begin, I wanted to just kind of start off real basic with the Beachbody Mission. So the Beachbody Mission is to, hold on, make sure everyone is muted. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Everyone mute. Okay, perfect. Great. All right, so Beachbody Mission. So this is important to just realize the Beachbody Mission is literally to help people achieve their goals and enjoy healthy, fulfilling lives. That's it. Simple. It's a simple mission. And even me, being 8 years into this business, it is still a mission that aligns with my core purpose. It is still a mission that aligns, even as I've grown. The woman that's standing before you now is, my goodness, so different from who I was 8 years ago. But one of the things that I've just been so grateful for throughout this whole transformational journey has been that the mission with Beachbody and what this community and what we offer still remains something that I can 100% get behind, and something that I know is so incredibly important, because helping people to get healthy, helping people to take care of their body is key and fundamental to whatever goals they have in their life. Okay. It doesn't matter if you have a dream of some business or something that's unrelated to Beachbody. At the end of the day, your body, how you take care of your body, how you fuel your body, how you move your body, how you talk to your body, how you think is so incredibly important. And so I'm just so grateful that over all these years, the Beachbody Mission has stayed so true to my heart. And I just want you guys to know, because, hopefully this also aligns with what you are looking to achieve in this business, how you feel you want to help people, because that's really one of the key ways to have success in this business, is to, in a way, align yourself with the mission and see how it fits in with your unique offering, with your unique gifts, with your unique stories. So that's the Beachbody Mission. One of the things I wanted to talk about were the core values. This is kind of relatively new that I was like, I'm gonna put this in here because this is something I've been thinking about. while I was on the plane coming back from leadership, I was sitting next to Becca Robinson, one of my coach friends here in Orlando. And we were just chatting. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just make a list of words that I really want our team to represent, that I really feel could really be uplifting, empowering. This is just a few. I had like a whole list. And I was like, just things that I wanted you guys to really be excited about representing, things that I thought were empowering. So number one is to live life with passion, like literally to live life with passion. And as you see these core values, understand that this is, when I say these are the core values, this is what I am encouraging. This is what this business can help you become, for you to embody in your life, right? There's one thing to know, but it's a completely different thing to embody it and be it, and to let these values come through you. So again, live with passion, lead with enthusiasm. This is why you saw me jumping up and down at the beginning of this call like a mad woman, listening to a fun song, because again, it is, enthusiasm is contagious, and everyone's enthusiasm is going to be unique. But when you're excited, when you're like, so excited about something, and you cannot, you can feel it. You can feel the fire within you. And it's about leading with enthusiasm, because that fire will attract other people, and it also will help other people's fire to be lit. And then next thing you know, it's like, it's a trickle, it's like a domino effect that happens. So leading with enthusiasm. And this is something that if you're like, God, I'm like, I don't know, I feel really down in my life. Like, I'm really sad. I feel really, then you know what, this is a time, where it may be, not, this is a time we should always be doing personal development, but this is where personal development, as well as connecting with your team and your support system, is really key to help you move through those emotions, to help you move through that energy. And we're going to talk a little bit. You guys know I'm big on energy. I did bring it a little bit into this call, because one of my new goals with, rebuilding the team with you is to bring more of what I'm passionate about into the team. Because I really do think that what I'm learning outside of just the fitness and the nutrition is going to help people transform even more. So that leads into being authentic to your truth, being authentic to who you are. One thing that I hope that you will gain from being a part of this team and this community, being an entrepreneur, is that you will learn that it is so important that you are authentic to yourself. It is so important that you don't try to be anyone else but you. Now, you may say, I'm inspired by this person, I'm inspired by that person. That's great. It's okay to be inspired, but there's a fine line from when you start comparing and you start judging, and then you start self-judging yourself that you're not where you need to be, and just realizing that all you need to be is you. So if you are quirky and funny, then be quirky and funny. If you are, if you're into, let's say, religion and you're into spirituality, then bring that to your community. If you're into life coaching, if you're into dance, if you're into Disney, if you're into health overall, like, we all have unique passions, and we all have, different things, that light us up. If you're into knitting, drawing, like all these different things are things that can really set you apart. So the key thing is to be authentic to yourself. Do not give up on yourself. That is another value, is not to give up on yourself. That is the only way that you're guaranteed not to reach your goals, is if you give up on yourself, right? And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that later, so I'll leave that here. Awaken your joy. Like, who doesn't want to awaken your joy? Who doesn't want to have more joy in their life? I believe that can be a core value. I believe that is something that we can lead from the front to our community, to our family, to our friends. But we first have to have that transformation within ourselves. Another core value is to step into self-acceptance. This is something, Carl said something at leadership that I thought was so amazing. And I was just like, so glad that he said it. Like, at the end, when he was giving us his like final hurrah and like leading us away, he was like, guys, just know and remember that we are not just about self-development. We are about self-acceptance. And when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like you are like a man after my own heart, because that is exactly what this journey is all about. This is exactly what the life journey is all about. It's that self-acceptance. And I want, like, my dream is that we have a team full of women who fully accept themselves, who can hold safe space, who remembers who they really are, who are authentic to their truth. Like, I just think, if we stand for that, my goodness, the impact that we will make on this world will be just tremendous. And then remembering who you are, and that goes beyond just physical. You can take that to the physical, but I put that in there because there is a spiritual piece to that. And I do believe that this team is more than just physical bodies. I believe we're emotional health, we're spiritual health. I believe we have all of that within our team. And I think it's beautiful. And then creating safe space. What I mean by this is that, creating safe space starts with creating safe space within ourselves. It first starts with being kind to ourselves. It first starts with not judging ourselves. And what I really hope is that we can literally have a team of such diversity that it doesn't matter who people are. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter what their political views are. It doesn't matter. Like, we are here looking at each other as humans. We are here loving and respecting the spirit of that person. And we are creating safe space for people to come and be who they are and share their emotions and share their pain and share their things that they're going through, so that we can help them move through it, and we can help give them the tools, which again requires them to take care of their body. We can give them the tools so that they can really continue to live life fully. So those are the core values. So what is a coach? So a coach really is just someone who is one step ahead of you. This was something that I heard someone tell me once, and it was just so simple, because again, we tend to make things a little bit more difficult. Now, obviously, there's all types of different levels of coaching, but at the very basic level, there are times when you're giving advice to someone, right? When you're when you're talking to someone who maybe has gone through an experience like you are giving them advice based on your experience. In a way, you're coaching them. You are simply one step ahead. And now, if you want to do more, deeper coaching, there are definitely other coaching and certifications, et cetera. But for the purpose of this team and the purpose of what we're doing here in our fitness and in our wellness journeys, it's just someone who is one step ahead of the other person. So many of you have been doing your workouts. Many of you have been working on your nutrition, right? Like, you have advice for people. You have ways that you have been able to overcome humps. You have ways that you have been able to overcome your mindset. So these are all things that you can do to help people. So just knowing that it's nothing more than that, and just realizing that you are already equipped, as an individual, to coach someone in their health and wellness in their health and wellness journey. So I have a bunch of these graphics from this artist. I found her on Instagram, and I love her. So it says, sometimes you need to weigh the fear of the jump against the fear of never knowing. Some of us, we know what this means. We know when we're so afraid to take a leap, and we're so afraid to go all in, and we know what this feels like. And some of you who are just beginning on your business, your business journey, trust me, it's going to come. Because there comes a point in your entrepreneurship life, like the life cycle, where there's like a line that draws in the sand, and you're like, am I going to go all in, or am I going to, stop, or am I going to keep just having one foot in, one foot out? So my question to you, as you're getting started in this business, or just continuing this business, or wherever you are in the life cycle of this business, is what is stopping you from going all in on your dreams? What is stopping you from going all in on yourself? And what is stopping you from going all in on your business? It'd be really cool, actually, if we had more time, to journal on this, to really ask yourself, and really just to journal on this, of what is stopping you, or maybe you guys could put in the chat, or if anyone wants to share, but what is stopping you? A lot of times it's fears, a lot of times it's doubts, limiting doubts, not having enough time, lack of self-worth, imposter syndrome. Like, these are all the things I dealt with. So I'm just like, sharing with you guys what I have had to deal with over these course of these 8 years. So just really thinking about, like, what's stopping you? Have you gone all in, or are you still like, nah, I don't know. I don't know if I can have success in this. I don't know if I can really do this. I really like this, but I don't know if it really fully aligns, or I don't know if I have the time. Because again, when you go into something halfway, you're going to get halfway results, right? So, just knowing that, and it's important to be honest with yourself. Being an entrepreneur will bring up all of your limiting beliefs. I want to repeat that. It will bring up all of your limiting beliefs. So what does that mean? That means, like I said, that means that there will come times in your business where you're going to be so doubtful. You're going to have, you're going to have all these thoughts running through your head. And I'm here to tell you that this is normal. I'm here to tell you that this is all part of the process. It's all part of the process of you becoming the successful entrepreneur, becoming this empowered woman. You have to go through all of these beliefs. You have to look at them one by one. I love this graphic here too. You see it just says like, let go of your past and watch your future bloom. And on the little bricks, it has hurt, regrets, mistakes, failures, doubts, lies, fears. And then as she takes them off, that's when the sun is able to come onto the little thing that she's planting. So, and it's able to grow. And in a way, that's also us with our doubts, our fears, our limiting stories, the lies that we're telling ourselves, the lies that were told to us, right? From our upbringing, from family, from society, whatever it is, we all have programming, that is limiting us. And so the key is to realize when it has a hold on your pattern, and to do everything that you can to change your state of mind. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's realizing when, oh my goodness, this story is coming up again. Okay, what can I do? What are my tools now? Because let me tell you something. What I've learned about this journey is that, again, it's 8 years, lots of lessons. What I've learned is that this journey will continue to bring up your limiting beliefs until you literally, when it comes up again, you make a different choice. You act differently. I always give the example, I'll give you an example because sometimes people are like, what do you mean? I'll give you an example. I have a friend who has, sometimes had bad anxiety, right? A lot of things used to make her afraid. She would sometimes be afraid about things. And she was, always felt like rocky in her safety. Come to find out, and you guys will probably know this friend if you follow her as well, but she shared it publicly, so I'm just gonna talk about it. But she was once homeless. And she was once, when she was younger, when she had her 1-year-old child, she was homeless with her 1-year-old child. So her nervous system at that time was in fight or flight. It was in survival. So all this time, this was like 20 years ago, all this time, her nervous system was accustomed to that way of thinking at a subconscious level. Now, things started to unfold recently where, again, she was faced with another time when she could potentially be homeless. And she even started to say, oh my God, this is crazy. I might be homeless. And I remember talking to her and also another friend, and we were just like, no, this is a time for you to use your tools, use all the personal development that you've learned, stay calm in your system, stay calm in your body, watch your thoughts, and have full trust that everything is going to work out. And then everything started to work out. And it was literally an opportunity. Does that make sense? Like, it's an literally it came back again for her in a different way, for her to really ask her, for her to really see, did you learn? Did you learn the first time? Have you really grown? So watch out for that. Watch out for those times and say, no. I've caught myself so many times. I'm like, no. Not today. I'm not going to start thinking like this. This is a story. Why am I thinking like this? So I just want to share that. Okay, so you are your first transformation. So body, mind, and spirit. So at the end of the day, that's what I like when it comes to the foundations, like this is fundamental. At the end of the day, you are your first transformation, your physical body, your emotional and mental body, and then your spirit. And I think that's important to know. You are the greatest project that you'll ever work on. And, when it comes to this business, we are in the business of helping people live healthy, helping people feel more confident in their body, feel more energetic in their body, have a healthier mindset and a more optimistic and hopeful outlook on life. in a way, you not that you have to, but in this process, if you commit to this, the goal is that you will literally become that. You will embody that. And so depending on where you are now, there may be a lot of work that needs to happen. There may be a little bit of work, but everyone's journey is different. But just know that you are your first transformation. And so when things are hitting the fan, always know, you know what? As long as I'm working on myself, as long as I'm taking care of my health, as long as I'm eating well, I know that whatever is happening right now, however I'm feeling, I can move what I'm feeling. And then, maybe it may be a time when you need to rest. It may be a time where there is stuff coming up because it wants to be released from you. And maybe you're going through a time where there's a lot of low vibrational energy coming through you, and you just have to be present to it. And if you simply you just stop everything and you simply be present to it, it may move and break. So you just never know. So just realizing that you are your first transformation. All right. So when it comes to coaching, it's really important for you to get clear on your why. Why is it important for you to have success? What will it do for your life? What will it do for your family? What type of freedom will it bring into your life? What would life look like what would life look like with more peace of mind, joy, community, and self-love? So just really thinking about what is your why? Because when things are hard, when things are challenging, when you're hearing lots of no's, or, people leave your team, or something happens in your life and it gets hard, a life circumstance happens, or something in society happens. Something in society happens, right? What are you going to do when it gets hard? Or are you just going to kind of stop everything? Or that's where you dig really deeply into your why. So getting really crystal clear on your why. If you're kind of, like I said, and honestly, guys, I actually feel like I'm in a full rebuilding of my part of the business. Actually, when I was at leadership, surrounded by so many, just so many successful coaches, it was actually rather comforting to hear that many of them were also going through a rebuild. And it's just the nature of this type of industry, a business in this industry. So just know that it's really good to kind of reevaluate certain things in our business and in our life every quarter, or at least half a year. And this is one of them. What's your why? Does it still reign true for you? Does it still align for you? Does it still get you excited? Okay, so that's important. Create a vision board. So actually, in preparation for this, I actually created this, and I got really excited about it. And it's creating a vision for yourself of what is it that you want to create in your life. Creating a vision and then having it, and putting it where you can see it. I actually saw this girl on YouTube. This girl on YouTube, and I was looking at her, and across her whole wall, she had all these pictures. And I messaged her and I was like, is that your vision board? And she was like, yes. She was like, every year I put across the wall, the whole wall in front of me, I put pictures of everything that I want to accomplish, in that year. And I was like, wow, I just hadn't seen it in a live format. I usually see it in a board like this, but to see it across a whole wall, I thought was really cool. And so it's really fun to see, how people are doing this. Thank you so these are just, again, and this changes as you change. If you would have seen this board probably when I started, it would have looked very different. It would have, and it has now evolved and changed based into where I am. For me, this represents, my dream is a condo, having a condo on the water, having a beautiful home, here as well as in Hawaii, and so having freedom, having a family. And then this is all related to my spiritual growth and hosting retreats and helping people with their healing and helping people with their energy healing and breath work. I have Beachbody here, and I have my own personal commitment to my yoga practice. So again, these are things that where I am now. And again, this changes and grows as you change and grow. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So I would definitely encourage, if you haven't updated your vision board where it's exciting for you, maybe it needs a refreshing. Maybe it needs to be refreshed. And honestly, for a long time, guys, I'll be honest, in case you are where I was, I couldn't dream of anything. And this was maybe in the last 2 years, where I was really struggling with what am I trying, what am I doing? What am I working toward? What am I creating? I couldn't even I just couldn't, and I couldn't visualize even something. It was just like, there's nothing that I need, there's nothing that I want. But it's only been more recently that I've been getting a little bit more crystal clear on what is it that I want to, really call into my life. So making sure that you're creating a vision board. All right, so we're going to talk about the 4 vital behaviors because this is a foundations of coaching call. And so, this is what this call is about. It's about really just reminding you of what the 4 vital behaviors are with a little bit more addition on some of them. So number 1 is being proof that the product works. So obviously, like I said, it's going to be so important that you commit to a program, that you commit to, to being the example for other people. This is going to be, this is, I think, one of the, if not the most, actually, I think personal development is the most important one. After that, then is this one, be proof that the product works. Because again, I think Hannah shared in one of our group pods, like when you're taking care of your body and you're feeling good, your business will do better because you will be more inspired. You will want to do more in your business. So being proof that the product works. I added this here because I think this is so important as part of being proof that the product works, is committing to our meditation program. If there is anything that has transformed my life over the past 2 years, it is meditation. And I really genuinely believe that this is a beautiful thing that Beachbody offers, in addition with exercise and nutrition, that if you can get your clients meditating, I promise you, you will change their life. You will change their life in the most subtle ways, because this is help. You're not only, getting their body, physically in shape, but when you start encouraging them to meditate, you will be impacting their nervous system. You will be impacting their reactivity to things. You will be, you'll be impacting their peace of mind. And so again, if you have not committed to it's 21 days, 10 minutes a day. If you haven't committed to that, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to be proof that the product works with this program. And also, if you're saying 10 minutes, even if you're like 10 minutes is a lot, I like it because it's guided meditation. So it actually goes by rather fast. But you can even do this with 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day of sitting, you can go on Spotify, go on YouTube, put on some high frequency, abundance type frequency music. There's so much out there that's completely free. And then you just sit for 5 minutes. If you have children, this is a beautiful thing to show them. This is a beautiful thing to work with them. I've seen really cute little shows where they have little elephants meditating with the kids. So there's stuff out there. It's so cute. It's a little elephant that's levitating, and he's and then all the kids are in front of it. I was just this is awesome. But it's just so important. And especially for those who have anxiety, which is really a hyperactive nervous system. If you have that hyperactive nervous system, meditation, it should be one of the key things in your life that you really look to implement. And like I said, it doesn't have to be this long extended period. It could just be 5 minutes, but ours is 10 minutes. So that's the one that I completely recommend. Committing to your nutrition, right? Because, food, our food is either killing us or it's helping us live. And I don't know, for me, that's been more obvious now over the past 2 years of just how important the food is that we put into our body, and how amazing that we have 2 fantastic programs to be, to stay committed to, the Ultimate Portion Fix and 2B Mindset. So for you, really asking yourselves, how committed have you been to your nutrition? How have you been leading by example? And just knowing that this is part of your job as a coach, which is amazing. It's amazing that part of your job as a coach is to take care of your body and feed your body well and encourage your family to do the same. Because I like this image I found with the food in the head, because it's so true. Our food not only impacts our body, but it impacts our mind. It impacts, it leads. I honestly think, to be honest, I think it's one of the, if not the main reason why we're so sick as a world, as a world system. It's definitely up in the top 3 as to why we're so sick and we have so much disease and so much, so much depression and so much mental fog and so much, we just have, and it has to do with our food. And unfortunately, in our country, we do not have the best food options. We do not have the best processing, which is why Shakeology is so important, why it's good that we have such a renowned shake that corporate really does, goes above and beyond to make sure that they are quality ingredients. It's why it costs the way that it does. Just know a lot of these high quality organic like ingredients are not inexpensive, right? Like it costs money to go out, and then on top of that, they're also giving back to the communities in which they source these nutrients from. So I think that's really amazing. So committing to your nutrition. And it's not just physical proof, it's showing how this community and business changes your life. So when I say being proof that the product works, the product is, yes, it's the total solution packs, like I said, but also the product of the business opportunity. That is a product as well. It's looking at both, right? It's looking at literally as the business opportunity as a product. It's a product that can literally help you help other people transform their lives. And so when it comes to a foundational piece for you, it's showing how the business is changing your life. You know, maybe it is through community, right? Like I put a picture here when several of us went to Disney, you know, out in California. Like maybe it's just bringing community into your life at this moment. You know, maybe it's bringing, or and as it continues, like it's just it's bringing into your life such a high vibrational, you know, frequency of people into your life. And that's amazing. You know, maybe it's giving you the opportunity to leave your job and stay at home and raise your new child. That's Carla here. Like she, you know, I remember when she first, I still remember, like, I will, like, Carla is probably one of the, is probably one of the top coaches, if not the top coach in our team. And I remember 2 years ago when she almost quit. And I remember she literally was like, I'm about to quit. So it was like and she's been a coach now for 6 years, I want to say, or 7 years. She's just like 1 year after me. But I remember when she was going to quit, and we were able to get together, and we were able to come together, and she was able to reignite, and she didn't give up. And she didn't, you know, give up on her dreams. She just needed to have a shift in mindset. She needed to stop trying to drag the people along that were not there working, and just, you know, put out new energy to rebuild a new team. And that's what she did. And that's what she's been doing. And now, like, being able to see her, you know, they closed her shop where she was working, and now she's able to stay at home and, you know, and be with her son, her newborn. So, you know, these are testimonies, guys, that you can share in your team, in your pages, in your social media, in your stories that inspire you, right? And a lot of you are looking to build your family. You're wanting to have like a good, you know, some security for them. This is a beautiful opportunity that can really supplement, you know, the income coming into your household. We have Chelsea here who just bought her new home, knowing that, you know, Beachbody helped with her, you know, with saving for that new home. So again, and you'll notice here, like these, you know, these are coaches who, those of you who have been on the team, you know that they've been consistent. They've been consistent in showing up. And were there times that it was hard? Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. And some of you know when it was hard. Like there are definitely times when it was hard. So, you know, we have Estefania here with her 2 kids. I put this here because it's helping people, you know, another way that this business changes your life is by helping you find a new passion, or just really fortifying a passion that you have, where she has now a new passion, a passion for nutrition and for healthy living and for organic growing. And look, she's literally built, you know, having a farm in Massachusetts and showing her kids, and she's making almond milk, and she's doing all these beautiful things when it comes to nutrition. And, you know, being a part of this community helped to bring that out for her, helped to bring out a new passion, or at least fortify a passion that she had. I have Hannah here. I wanted to show her here too, because I love her, because Hannah to me is like the mom boss. Like she is just she's such an amazing, she's a mom of 4 kids. She has Beachbody as well as another business on the side, and she's successful in both businesses. And just this is actually her this past weekend with her daughter at a fair where she was selling her products, and just being that example to your children of entrepreneurship, of going after your dreams, of, you know, of instilling in them the ethics of hard work and not giving up. And then I have a picture of Zakia here, who is, you know, who's been a coach now for several years now, and just, you know, living, you know, working towards having that freedom, you know, being able to travel with her family, you know, working towards holding that vision of a dream home in Hawaii. I'm holding it with you, girl. And it's like, it's like, I know that's what she wants, and one of the things that she's working for. And so again, it's about how this business is impacting your life and continuing to change your life. And so I put this here, like, we are not just about self-development, but about self-acceptance. And I put this picture of me just being me. Like, those who know me know I love to dance. I'm really into the body. I'm really into embodiment. And it's like, that's me. And that's okay. And it's like, and it's just being who I am. And that is what I want to encourage for all of you. I want to encourage for all of you to get excited about really discovering self-discovery of who you are. And I know that some of this stuff sounds a little fluffy, but just know, like, this is like legit. It is legit. Like, if you stick to this business, if you stick to these vital behaviors, these types of impacts, these types of changes are going to happen in your life. It's inevitable. And then sharing all of the journey along the way. So that's key too, is that as you're being proof that the product works, as you're going through the journey, as you're working out, as you're meditating, as you're working, you're eating well, and going through life, it is sharing all of it, the ups and the downs, like this community grows with you. Your social community will grow with you and will expand with you. And those who are no longer vibing with you, they leave, and it's cool. It's cool. Like, it's no big deal, because not everyone is meant to continue growing with you. But you have to realize that when you become a coach, especially on this team with me here, like, if you become a coach on this team, it's literally a journey of self-expansion and self-growth and self-discovery. And so as you grow, your frequency is gonna rise, and people are not gonna be able to be at that same frequency, and they're gonna fall off, and that's okay. So just knowing that it's super important for you to share the journey along the way. Number 2, vital behavior: connecting, inviting, and follow up. So I feel like we talk about this all the time, and it's all like, it's so important. Like, the money maker of this business is in the conversations that you're having and in the follow up. It's reaching out to people, it's connecting with them, it's getting to know people, it is getting to know what their goals are, it's interacting with people, leaving quality comments on their social media, liking people. This is a social business. And like, a lot of us are doing our business on social media. So it requires us to be social. And so like, it takes time to get used to that for some people. So connecting with people, and then inviting them to join your next challenge group, or your next wellness group, or your next clean nutrition, or maybe it's putting together some sort of group that really lights you up, that you can offer as like a little free 5-day, maybe like an empowerment group or a meditation group, or there's just so much possibility of what you can invite to that, and how you can really make it your own. So making sure that you're inviting, and then the most important part is following up. I tell people, follow up with them, because just assume everyone is busy. Just assume everyone saw your message and they were like getting into a car and they forgot. Like, just assume that that's what's happening, and don't feel like you're bothering them. Don't feel like, that they're going to get back to me. No, go out and engage, follow up. Hey, wanted to check in, wanted to see if you had an opportunity to look at the information I sent you, wanted to see if now was a good time for you to get started. I know we've been talking. There was actually a girl recently that I was like, girl, I literally was like, I sent her a voicemail. I was like, I don't know, like, we've been talking for like 2 years now. Literally, I've been talking to this girl for 2 years. I'm like, you're 30 pounds heavier. I was so blunt with her. I was like, you're 30 pounds heavier. You've been, going back and forth on this. Are you ready to commit? I said it like, are you ready to commit? Are you ready to go all in on yourself? Are you ready to commit to your own personal goals? Or are you gonna keep waiting? And so, it's really just, that is our job. It's to be the mirror for people in a loving and compassionate way. I said it, in a very compassionate way, but that's the key. It's just, it's following up with people and reminding them that you're still there. Number 3, vital behavior number 3 is getting people results. And so these are people from our team, our community, but that is our goal. Our goal is to help people get results. And we do this through our challenge groups. We do this through WhatsApp pods. We do this through messenger pods. There's many different ways. But the key is to help our customers when they come on, our coaches on our team, our community, to get results. And the best way to do that, honestly, is to lead from the front when it comes to that. To lead by example of your own results, physically, emotionally, mentally, and to share it, right? Like if you stay quiet about how amazing you're feeling or how you're doing, no one's going to see it and no one's going to be inspired by it. So just know that your consistency and your persistence can really influence and help people. Do personal development. So this, I think, is the most important, like I personally think this is the most important vital behavior that we have, because it's vital, literally. I'm like cliche. It's just something that when those of us know when we have stopped our personal development, sometimes our limiting thoughts come back in. They, limiting stories start coming back in, old habits start creeping back in. And it's just so incredibly important that we are always keeping our A game when it comes to personal development. This is where you're going to find, different ways that this is where you're going to be inspired to grow. This is where you're going to find potential content to share with your team, to share with your community on social media. It's in the personal development. And personal development can range. You can have personal development specifically for your business growth, right? Like you can have personal development for your business growth. And then you can have personal development, like where it's literally helping you, move through maybe fear, or helping you move through a limiting belief, a lack, imposter syndrome, or low self-esteem, low self-confidence. There's so many books out there, there's so many books out there. And so it's just incredibly important that you are taking at least 10 to 15, actually you should have more, but with Beachbody, they say 10 to 15 minutes in order to do personal development. And the reason why it's important is because of this, actually. It's like through this process, you're deconstructing the older version of yourself and becoming the new version of yourself. And in that process, you can see here, like the iceberg, those is like, we have the conscious, which is literally you and I talking right now, all of our affirmations, all the things that we're like thinking in real time. It's our willpower, our analysis, our decisions. It's only 10% of how things happen in our life, actually. 90% of what happens in our life and how we act and behave is ruled by our subconscious mind. And that has to do with our beliefs, our emotions, our habits, our intuition, our imagination, our values, all of that. And you can see it's much bigger than what we see at the tip of the iceberg. And so this is why personal development is important, because when your beliefs are being shattered, when your emotions are high or low, when your values are being questioned, when you're like, is this for me? Is this not for me? When you're like, your habits are poor, or when you're just like, you're just going through a funk, and knowing that sometimes it's okay, and this is where it's important that you're tapping into your community, right? Because if you stay in a funk by yourself, I guarantee you're going to stay much longer in that funk by yourself over there. And so just being mindful that this is why personal development is really important. I love this quote from Joe Dispenza. If you guys are not familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza, I absolutely love him. He says, if you want a new outcome, you will have to break the habit of being yourself and reinvent a new self. This is actually a fantastic book. I highly recommend it to everyone. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is the name of the book. And he literally talks about how if you are trying to become a new person, you literally you're reinventing yourself. And so what does that mean? That means new habits, new thoughts. I actually heard something, I was listening to a mastermind call recently, and it even said, like, if this is a new chapter, new words, new thoughts. And I was like, oh, that's so true. I need like some new vocabulary to use, to really signify this new change. And then what consumes your mind controls your life. This goes beyond just being really mindful. We're going to go a little bit over. Just if anyone has to leave at 8, you can, but just know we're going to go a little bit over. What consumes your mind controls your life. And so this is important, guys, because it's not just the books we read. It's what we listen to. It's the media that we pay attention to. It's the television. It's the Netflix. It's like, what are you watching? What are you focusing on? There's that saying, like, stand guard. What is it? Like, stand guard at like the opening of your mind, or like standing guard at what you are literally putting into your mind, because what you put into your mind controls your life. I wanted to put this in here too at this point, because this is what's important, why personal development is important, because Tony Robbins talks about, helping us get into a peak state, and that this is how we're able to really change our lives and make drastic, huge changes in our lives is by maintaining and staying in a peak state as much as we can. And there's three things that contribute to that: our focus, so what we've just been talking about, personal development, what we're focusing on; our physiology, which was me dancing all over the place, and like our exercise, our nutrition, that's all part of physiology. And then language, this falls in line with personal development is too. It's like, how are we speaking to ourselves? Well, who is that inner narrator? Is that inner narrator putting us down, or are they uplifting us and being our biggest cheerleader? And so when we focus on these things and we have them at optimal state, we are in a peak state. And peak state is something that can change in just a second. And he talks about that in his trainings. He has us go from like sitting to standing to jumping to sit. Like, it's just, he's constantly challenging us that we can always change our state in just a second, in just a moment. And it's literally a decision. It's a decision. And that's where, like, getting the music on, getting some high vibe music on, moving your body when you're feeling the energy going low in your body is going to be really important, because your state of mind and your state overall is your responsibility, really. And it's actually the only thing in life that you can, in a way, control. It is the only thing in life that you can have, that you can control. Everything else you cannot control. You think you can control, but you cannot control. So again, being mindful of like, what steps are you taking to really getting into a peak state? So writing down focus, language, physiology in this little triangle, knowing that these are the three things as coaches that we are, that we're really changing in our lives so that we can really impact lots of people. I put this in here too, because I am a big stickler for this. Many of you have seen this, my emotional guidance scale. And I put this here too, because again, this has to do with state. This to me is a foundation of coaching, that we need to be mindful of our vibration. We need to be mindful of our state of mind. And so this here, I want to show you guys here, because I love this. So they've actually studied and tested the vibration of emotions, which to me is like, what? Like, it's crazy. And I think it's just so amazing, and it makes perfect sense. You guys ever realize when someone comes in who's like in a really bad mood or really upset, and you're like, ooh, I could feel that tension. It's like tension that's really thick. And it's because their density, the emotion of the density of that emotion is very thick and heavy, so you can feel it. And so this is the emotional scale. And so you can see that down here is insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, victim. And look at this, even like anger is above insecurity, guilt, and unworthiness, and even fear and grief. Anger is above those. That's actually a higher vibrational emotion than these lower vibrational emotions. Worry, disappointment, boredom. And then these are the higher ones that we all seek and want to maintain in our lives: contentment, optimism, passion, enthusiasm. I like to show this because this is a process, meaning that if you're down here, insecurity, unworthiness, jealousy, depression, grief, and you're trying to be up here, you can't just like go straight to the top. You have to, in a way, there's a part of this that you're going through. You're going to go through some of these other emotions before you get to that higher emotion. And I think that's important to know, so that you have self-compassion and self-awareness for this journey, because it's not as easy as like, because people always say like, just be happy, or, or get over it. And it's like, it's not that easy. And it's like studied that it's not that easy. It really is. This is a process of empowering yourself and becoming better. So just knowing this and seeing, maybe this is a gut check for some of you. Where are you on this scale? And this changes day to day, right? This changes day to day, moment to moment. Where are you on this scale? And, and just where is it that you want to be? Maybe, if you're feeling, down about something, maybe it is something that you're meant to be angry about, and you need to express anger, and you need to express that in a safe space. So again, just being mindful. Success does not bring happiness. It takes happiness to bring success. The reason why I have this here is because, again, success is an internal state of being. You feeling successful comes from internal. We tend to think that, and I'm guilty of this, this is what my whole last 2 years of What Is Stephanie Doing journey has been about, where it's like, I was so focused on external success and external validation, externalized things, when really everything that we truly desire and need really comes from within ourselves. And so it takes happiness, it takes contentment, it takes self-acceptance, it takes, being authentic to yourself. That is what brings success. Okay, so wanted to touch upon the Success Club activity tracker. So making sure that you guys are all familiar that this is going to be key as you're building this business, making sure that you're checking into the online office. I wanted to see actually if I could show you, or all of you know what the Success Club activity tracker is. So what I would tell you is look on the online office, because they now have a new electronic one. And so you can look at it in the training section of the back office. And so make sure to take a look at that, because that is going to give you the very basics of what you should be doing every day for your business. So ways that you can sign people up. So for those who are coming back or have been taken a step back before, we now have 3 ways of getting people on board. You can sign people up as a coach. We now have this new option of preferred customer. So the difference between a coach and a preferred customer is that a preferred customer cannot sell anything. So they cannot earn any income. However, a lot of it is similar in that you get 25% discount, you get first access to new programs, there's a monthly membership fee of $15.95, and you have an ability to reclassify back to a coach. As well as what's really awesome is that if someone signs up as a preferred customer, they actually go into your binary tree. They actually go into your genealogy tree. So this is a new feature within Beachbody within the past couple months, actually within the last 3-4 months. And then obviously as a customer where no discount is offered and they pay full price. So our goal as a coach is to help 3 people every month. So these are the different ways that we can hit Success Club. And so Success Club is our objective measure of how we know that we are moving forward in our business. And so any combination that equals 5 points or more means you've hit Success Club. So you can sell a total solutions pack, you can sell Shakeology on home direct. So this is important. Notice these HDs. It has to be an auto shipment order in order to qualify for the points. Daily Sunshine, the performance line, the beach bars, 3 cartons, any combination of any HD products that total 90 PV. So again, I'm just kind of giving you little just kind of hints onto this, but I just wanted you guys to know that this is how you would hit Success Club. And then first business goals as a new coach is to reach Emerald rank. And so what you may see here that's different is that now, instead of it just saying 2 active coaches, you can now hit Emerald rank with 1 active coach on one side and a preferred customer on the other side. So your preferred customers, as long as they are active and as long as they have purchased 50 PV, they help to grow your organization. They help to grow your business. So now you don't have to just sign up coaches. This in a way gets rid of that discount coach option that we used to have in the past, where now we just have a preferred customer option. So this is a very new thing within Beachbody, like I said, but I think it's really exciting because especially if you're feeling a little weary about the business side, it's knowing that, hey, if you have a customer or you have someone who really loves our products, get them on board as a preferred customer. And then that will help you build towards your ranking and help build your confidence as well. So an important rule within Beachbody, in order to remain an active coach now, you must make 1 sale every 6 months. So 1 sale, it could be an Energize, it could be a 3-month Beachbody on demand, it could be anything. But now this is the new rule. And so, and if you don't, and you'll get, trust me, you'll get lots of emails about this. If you happen to, if you're nearing when you're supposed and you haven't had any sales. And then what'll happen is that if you go the 6 months without a sale, they're going to place you as a preferred customer. So again, you're not going to want that. So just realizing that, making sure that you are, a Beachbody coach, making sure in your organization, but this changed recently. Where actually in the last 2 months, it's changed. So this is these are new things within our organization. And then different ways to stay active. Again, you don't just have to have Shakeology. For me, we use a lot of our products. So realizing that if you are going to be a business owner, use your products. We have collagen, we have snack bars, we have Boost, we have digestive Boost that has added fiber. We have, get to know our product line. We have, a lot of people know Energize and Recover, but we have many other different types of products that can help you stay active as well. All right. So we're going towards the end. So remembering that, sometimes the hardest part of the journey is believing you're worthy of the trip. And so you are capable of your dreams, but it takes inspired and aligned action. It takes, staying consistent with the vital behaviors. It's about the action that's most important, not just the thoughts. There will be ups and downs, which is why it's important to stay focused on your vision. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself of why you began. This is exactly what entrepreneurship is like. It's like a roller coaster, these ups and downs on the mountain, where sometimes you're like at the peak of the peak, and then sometimes you're at the bottom of the valley. And so this is part. And if you're looking for a really good book on entrepreneurship, Darren Hardy's The Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster is a really great book that just talks about entrepreneurship in a way that really aligns with us, and is good for you. So just knowing, I want you guys to know that it's not always going to be easy. And it's where you're really going to have to, utilize your tools that you have and take inspired action. Keep focused on your dreams and be mindful of when other things look easier. Prosper where you're planted. So this is important, guys. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. So many people, this is what happens. They're working, and then they give up. They miss the breakthrough. They give up before the breakthrough. They gave up before that big first, accomplishment or that continued accomplishment. And just knowing that just because something looks easier on the other side, I guarantee you it's not. So it's one of those things where there's certain values, there's certain habits, consistency, being proof that the product works, that regardless of what you're doing in your life, whatever industry you're in, these remain true. And so if there's anything that's stopping you from doing that, your limiting beliefs, your bad habits, your poor mindset, that's going to go wherever you go until you start working on it. And then this is important. I wanted to put this in here because when you are tired, rest. This is something Carl told us at leadership. Tired does not mean give up. Okay. Just because you're tired does not mean you give up. It means you rest, and rest also can be productive. This is something that I really, really had to work on in my life because I was just working for so long in my life, through medical school, through residency. It was almost like I thought resting was lazy and I had a judgment around it. And so actually resting is one of the most productive things you can do. The key thing is to recognize when you need the rest and to honor that with true rest. Taking, disconnecting for a day, for a weekend, for a week, maybe sometimes, depending on how tired your body is, how tired your mind is. So again, I want you guys to hear this so that it's important to be resting. Lean on your tools, your community, and this team when times get hard. So who will you be? I love this little image too. It's like this little girl, this woman at the bottom, she's like, doesn't know what she's going to do. And then she decides to use the tool that she has to make a way out for herself. And so that's what this is. When things get hard, what are you going to do? How are you going to act? Are you going to use your tools? Are you going to lean on other people? Right? Like, again, one of the things I've had to learn in my journey is leaning on other people, being vulnerable and letting other people know. We have a problem in our society where we try to do everything ourselves and we try to take everything on ourselves. And we're afraid to ask for help. We think we're going to look, I don't know what we think we're going to look, but we're afraid to ask for help and to be vulnerable. But I'm telling you, it's being vulnerable and allowing other people also to help you. That is an opportunity for others to help you. So make sure that you stay in communication with your team, with the people in this community. Many of you are in pods. Stay in communication, stay close to the fire. It's the image of the campfire, right? It's like at the campfire, you have a little fire in the middle and you have all the people around it. The further away you are, you're going to get cold. The closer you are to the fire, you're going to stay warm and you're going to stay energized. It is that same concept. Celebrate every step of the way. Every step forward is a step closer to your goals. So just realizing that slow progress is still progress, right? At the end of the day, dreams are built one step at a time. A house is built one brick at a time. And the same thing with this. And then, so let go of the past. So all of you, I want you to let go of the past and realize that today is a new day, a new opportunity, and a new moment for you to create the version of yourself that you have always dreamed of. I love this image. It says the trees are about to remind us of how beautiful it can be to let go. And they do this every year. And let me tell you guys, another thing I've learned in this journey is that we follow nature. Just because we're humans doesn't mean that we don't go through the same ebbs and flow that nature shows us. Nature is actually one of our greatest teachers if you will look to it and pay attention to it. And it gives us such powerful examples of transformation, right? Death and transformation in seasons. And it's literally, we follow the same path. So again, realizing that I don't care what's happened in the past. I don't care what, if you failed in the before, I don't care what's happened. Today is a new day. Don't bring the past into the present. Don't bring the old stories into a new day. And there's no room through this process. I want you guys to literally ingrain this in your mind. There is no room for shame. There is no room for self-judgment. There is no room for limiting beliefs, and there's no room for a scarcity mindset. Every single one of you can have success. Even though there are hundreds of thousands of people in the wellness industry, there is enough success for everyone to go around. There are so many people to help. When I was working, and I'm still sometimes working through scarcity mindset, but one thing someone told me was Stephanie, you're a doctor, you're an emergency room doctor. You go to work and you see how many patients. I'm like, I see 13, 14 patients. She's like, okay, when your shift is done, do your patients stop coming in? I'm like, no. She's like, no. So that means there's more than enough. The next provider is going to see however many patients that they're going to see. And there's more than enough. And they're going to continue to keep coming. And they're going to continue to, and there's an abundance of people who need help. And it's the same. And for me, I was like, oh, that makes sense. and so it's really that there's no room for this. And so this little image here has not good enough, too old to try, not smart enough, others are better, not pretty, not enough experience, not skinny enough. And so it's be stronger than your strongest excuse, be greater than your most negative voice. And like I said, we all have that negative voice inside of us that's always trying to be like a huge horn in our ear. And be the example of self-love, self-compassion, and self-kindness. So again, in order for you to be an amazing coach to other people, in order for you to give people what they need, you have to be your first transformation. Realizing that how you treat people is truly how you treat yourself, right? And being the example of self-love and self-compassion, asking other people to be kind to themselves when you're not even kind to yourself is going to be a hard thing to pass, at a vibrational level. Same thing with compassion. If you're not compassionate to yourself and you're judging the heck out of yourself, you will see that because you probably judge a lot of people. It's actually one of the things I say to people when I realize that they judge a lot. I'm like, you know what? You're judging is because you judge yourself. That's really all that shows me. And so, just being mindful of, being the example of these things. And so decide today that you will go all in, become the vital behaviors, step into that empowered coach, and then watch your life change. Because literally as you change, those Zakia, Ariel, Chelsea, Carla, they will tell you, those who have been in this business, even, Blair, lots of people who have been in this business, who have been in this community for a long time, they can look back and they'll say, I'm not the same person, and by any means. And so if that doesn't encourage you and inspire you, just think of that, being an empowered, more you version of yourself. All right, so that is the end. That is the last of my awesome. So I want to see if anyone, let me see, food impacts our energy. Thank you for hosting. And then is that even if you have customers who have HD orders? You mean for Success Club, Alejandra?
No, Stephanie, when you were talking about that it's the new rule to have a sell every 6 months,
right?
Is that like a new sell?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the reoccurring sales count.
Okay.
Good question.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Awesome, guys. So great. So I hope that this was helpful. Next week, we have, actually for the next couple of weeks, we'll have Ariel, who's going to be hosting several calls. We'll also have Chelsea. hosting for those of you. So just so that you guys know, I am leaving on Wednesday for Peru. And so I will be without service. I'm heading to a hut in the jungle to sit in a silent retreat for 4 weeks. So yes, that means 4 weeks of no talking, 4 weeks of being by myself in a hut. And so this is for me is a big deal. It's like I grew up in the Bronx and I grew up afraid of bugs and insects. And so for me to get to this point where I'm literally going to be in the Amazon in part rainy season is quite like just transformational. So yeah, so I just want you guys to know that that's why Ariel, we're all pitching in, all helping one another stay connected in the pods, but I'll be gone from the 15th of October till November 15th. So you won't see anything from me on social media or anything because I won't have any service. So anyway, guys, thank you so very much. And I hope that you guys all have an amazing rest of your week, and come back next week to hang out with Ariel on the team call. All right, ladies?
Stephanie, I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
So I do have a hopefully soon to be client.
Awesome.
But she is pregnant and she wants to take collagen. So I told her, oh, we have that, because I was talking to her about nutrition and told her about Shakeology.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, is that safe for babies? And also I want to take collagen. I said, well, we also have that.
Right.
She can take that during pregnancy, right?
That I don't, you know what, that I don't know actually. I'd have to, bye Zakia, we'd have to ask. I always tell people to ask their OB. Just if the OB says that it's okay to take collagen, then yes, it's fine. Okay. So anytime anyone pregnant asks me anything, I'm always like, ask your OB, because I never, and even when there's certain things I'll take, like I watched Carla drank like Energize and Shakeology throughout her whole pregnancy. And everyone's different, everyone's circumstance is different and what they feel comfortable with. So just have her ask her OB, and then if that's the case, then yeah, she can get collagen from us.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's see. Oh, great. Someone says here, as long as it's not the fish-based version, I usually say okay. Oh, good to know. Thank you, Hillary. Awesome. Anyone else have any other questions? It's a good time to ask. Awesome. Awesome, guys. All right, ladies. So I will let you guys go. And oh wait, let's get a little boomerang. I almost forgot. All right, everybody start moving. Woo. Awesome. Cool. All right, ladies, everyone enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, bye.